Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's an open the box and it's the first in an unboxing, just showing you what I got in the last GMT sale. It's finally arrived here in the UK. And the first unboxing is Next War, Korea. Game designed by Mitchell Land and the system designed by Gene Billingsley and published by GMT Games. And this is the second edition. So what's all this about? 60 years of tense, uneasy peace are shattered as the Korean peninsula erupts in renewed warfare. One historically, ethnically and culturally homogeneous people, polarized and separated by superpower politics and economics, hurl men, weapon and material into the maelstrom of modern combat in an attempt to settle their arbitrary division once and for all. From Pyongyang in North Korea to Busan in the south, the war rages in a scene reminiscent of the first attack by the Inmin gun in 1950. The North Korean People's Army surges across the demilitarized zone and penetrates deep into South Korea. Special operations forces from both sides conduct raids, interdiction and reconnaissance missions behind enemy lines, while airborne, air assault and amphibious forces strike far behind those lines, attempting to outflank the main army forces of both sides. In the air, a heated campaign roils in an effort to establish superiority in the skies over Korea. With rough terrain and the full ferocity of modern armour, air mobile, airborne and marine warfighting capabilities, there is no safe haven in the lethal cauldron of battle engulfing the Korean peninsula. While North and South battle for a quick, decisive victory, the world awaits the response of the two military superpowers in the region, the United States of America and the People's Republic of China. Will the United States, strung by high casualties among the soldiers of its 2nd Infantry Division during the initial assaults, be able to reinforce the South quickly enough? And, if so, how and in what strength? Will the Communist Chinese support the North and intervene, thus widening the conflict? As the situation evolves, choices are made, forces are committed, and the future of the two Koreas hangs in the balance. Wow. So, here's the map. Sample counters here and markers. And the game contents. Standard and Advanced Rulebook. Game Specific Rulebook. 1056 9/16 of an inch counters. 2 22 by 34 inch map sheets. 7 play aids, 8.5 by 11 inch. And 3 play aids, 11 by 17 inch. And 1 10-sided die. Ages 14 plus. Unit Division, Brigade / Regiment, Battalion. Time each game turn is 3.5 days. Players 2. Map 7.5 miles per hex. On the game meter, the complexity of the standard game is 5 out of 9 and the advanced game 8 out of 9. Solitaire suitability, though, is 7 out of 9. Game credits, game design Mitchell Land, game developer Ralph Shelton, system design Gene Billingsley, usual crew of executive producers, art director Roger B. McGowan, production coordinator Tony Curtis, the counter art and design Mark Simonich and Charlie Kibler, map art and design Mark Simonich, and the package design and logo Roger B. McGowan. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, so let's open the box. It's a nice sturdy 2-inch box, the normal type of heavy duty box that GMT are now using. So let's see what's inside. So straight away we see the game specific rules, which we'll have a look at in a moment. And then we've got the standard and advanced rules. But just to tell you that these actually, I think, have been superseded by the ones in the Vietnam game, and these will apply to all the games in the Next War series. So if you haven't got Vietnam, I believe you can download these from the GMT website. So if you want to see what's in the rules, have a look at my Vietnam unboxing and we go through this rulebook. Here are the game-specific rules for Next War Korea, and it comes in at 28 pages. Matte finish on the paper, which I know a lot of people like, myself included. So, introduction, terrain, tunnels, special unit rules. So we've got Mi-2 attack helicopters. There's the US Marines, Russian airborne and air mobile troops, weather, movement, combat. Remember, these are just the game-specific rules, so it doesn't look like there's a lot on combat. That's all in the standard and advanced rules, of course. So reinforcements, subordination, and targeting electronic detection. Air power, hardened targets, theatre warfare assets, some scuds there. UN resolution veto, optional rules. And what's quite handy is that most of the rules do have this underneath saying if you apply it to the standard or advanced rules or both. And then the scenarios. First we've got the standard scenarios. So we've got 2 here. Another 3 here. Couple more, there's lots. And then the advanced scenarios, which tend to be bigger affairs. So strategic surprise, tactical surprise, and extended build-up scenario, which, if I remember rightly, is similar to what's in Next War Vietnam. Second edition design notes, order of battle notes, and the credits again with the playtesters and proofreaders, and strike effects table on the back. Next, 5.5 sheets of counters. Here's the first one. Don't ask me what they are yet, because as some of you probably know, I'm colourblind, so I've got to match these up with the countries index on the back of the rule book. But they're on that thick brown core. These may be the Commonwealth. I think these are the Americans. And that's the Navy, I think, US Navy. But don't quote me. Third sheet. Here's sheet number 4, which consists of admin markers. And sheet number 5. And here's the half sheet. And then there's a slew of player aids. Here's the first one, standard and advanced game tables. This, I dare say, will look familiar to you if you have any of the other games in the series. We've got the paradrop, sea control, contested sea movement, clearing operations, replacement, reconstitution, loss of airbase, airfield, and mine clearing. And on the other side, standard game air defense fire and standard game air points. Here is the standard game sequence of play. As you can see, very well organized with enough detail, I think, to keep you on track. And on the other side, the advanced game air defense resolution. Here's the general records track sheet, single-sided. The strike effects table. And on the other side, Master Allied reinforcement chart. For those wishing to play the advanced game, you'll need the advanced sequence of play on both sides. And then there are two bifold player aids, advanced game tables, light infantry infiltration, Article 5 entry DRMs, supply, special operations survival, outer supply effects, theatre weapon targets, and special operations forces combat results table. And in the middle, advanced air defense, advanced strike, advanced air combat and detection. And on the back here, some more. We've got advanced interdiction, electronic detection, deliberate damage, repair, automatic victory, collateral damage, and emergency supply. Two copies of this. On one side, we've got the terrain effects chart with the different type of units and their movement capabilities, combat results table on the other side, and a DRM track. And lastly, we've got a fold-out air superiority missions player aid for both the Allied and non-Allied sides. There are two maps in the game, and we'll have a look at those in a second. All that's left in the box are some baggies, which is always handy, and not one, as it says on the box, but two D10s. Let's have a look at the maps. Here's the first map showing North Korea, and I assume the border here. And unlike the other game I have in this series, Next War Vietnam, the other map is South Korea. Doesn't have a strategic map in it like Vietnam did, with all the sort of sea zones in it. As before, nice looking map, quite easy to discern what the different terrains are. So we'll have a quick close-up and a look around the outside. So here's the sort of middle bottom of the first map. Not sure what all these are. This is very different to Vietnam. Here's a look at the top left corner with different terrain. And over here we've got the phase track. At the top there, it looks like we've got some sort of holding boxes, one for Japan and one for Hamhung, Hungnam. Weather track here, the seasons, and the East Sea naval boxes. So it looks like they've incorporated both things on the same maps. Here we've got the North Korean air defense track, and just in shot here, the initiative. And down the bottom, current air superiority, Yellow Sea naval boxes, and AWAC advantage. Now, I must say at this point that I am struggling with the rules for the Next War series, so it may be a little while before we can get one of these on the table to video, but I'm looking forward to that day, because what I've read, even though I don't understand it all yet, I'm liking. Here's the second map, which goes below the first, showing South Korea here. So we'll have a quick look at the detail and what's going on around the outside of this map. So again, the terrain looks pretty straightforward, but I do like the map, mountains and forests. And starting at the top left of this one, we've got the submarine threat and anti-submarine warfare level, naval detection. Running down here, the South Korean air defence track. And below that, the victory point table. And just to finish off, down the bottom right, another holding box, it looks like, for Busan. Them's the maps, and everything in the box. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of Next War Korea. Game design Mitchell Land, and the system designed by Gene Billingsley, and published of course by GMT Games. And as I said earlier, I am struggling a bit with the rules, but that's me. But I'm determined to sort that out and get at least one of these games on the table. And as I said, the Vietnam rules are the most up-to-date, standard and advanced series rules that you can get at the moment. So pop along to GMT's website and download those. Well, I hope you enjoyed that and found it interesting. The first of my games from the 2021 GMT sale. If you did, and it was, and you haven't done so already, I know I keep saying it, but it really does help if you would consider subscribing to the channel. Another good thing that helps the channel is pushing that like button, the thumbs up of this video. And if you want to be informed of other content the channel uploads, then ring the bell. Leave a comment. I had a few on my unboxing of Next War Vietnam. Some of them saying that, yeah, it's a tough game, but once you get into it, it's absolutely fantastic. But what do you think? Is there any particular one in the series that is best to start with, for instance? Let me know. I love to read them. Thank you as always to my subscribers. Thank you very much. And just before I go, if you wish to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can buy the channel a coffee. And those coffees go towards maintaining the channel and enabling it to keep on uploading new content. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description, and thank you. What else did I get in GMT's sale? You'll have to wait and find out. But until then, as always, you take care and goodbye.